This episode of A Conversation with John Conenna is sponsored by Generate. In today's digital age, staying ahead means harnessing the power of generative AI. Wondering how your small or medium-sized business can join this revolution? Look no further than Generate, your strategic partner for integrating cutting-edge generative AI solutions. We create personalized plans, adapting existing AI technologies to fit your specific business needs. Plus, our expert team provides essential training, empowering you to make the most of these innovative technologies. Interested in transforming your business with AI? Reach out to us at generateteam@gmail.com. That's generate, GENERAIT, team@gmail.com. And now, on with the episode.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of A Conversation with John Conenna. Tonight, we go back to visit a really unbelievable thing that's going on here in Chicago since I met this young gentleman, Michael Fiorante and Angela Widlacki. Back in June, we did a podcast interview with them about the Chicago Amputee soccer team. And of course, they had their first clinic back in August. It was on the 12th, which I was there to see firsthand. And we had another one on October 21st, and we just had on December 9th for this. These are two unbelievable people here that we're meeting tonight. Michael Fiorante and Angela Widlacki are the organizers of this Chicago amputee soccer team. And it is a thrill and when I reached out to you guys again to come back on to discuss the progression of this, which has been unbelievable media coverage, clinics, more people coming forward to come on this team. So to both of you tonight, I thank you. And I'm going to start it off with ladies first, as always, the way it should be. Good evening, Angela Widlacki. Good evening, Michael. And Angela, what is going on? And tell us, since that August clinic date, how this has moved forward, and then we'll go back and forth with you and Michael.
Yeah, well, starting off in August, we weren't really sure what we were going to get. It was our first clinic. It was just, let's throw the opportunity out there and see what we get. We got a few participants, kind of expected it to start slow, especially since there's other fun activities to do in the summers. A little bit of a long shot if people haven't heard of it yet. And then from every clinic since then, we've kept some of the same people. We've got some returning faces, and then we've added some new athletes, and even in December we got even more, and we're starting to even grow from not only adult participants but also some youth participants as well, which is really exciting to kind of have that opportunity to not only introduce it but start young and grow it throughout their lifetime.
You know, Michael, I'm going to address this next question to you. Since that August one that Angela touched on here to start us up here tonight, since that August one, was there then after, oh my God, because now, as always in anything, those athletes that came out in August now become, tell me if I'm wrong, both of you, the best advertisement for the Chicago amputee soccer team. They went out and told people, there is a team here. There is a team. And did you get in October, which now becomes, I call it the pivotal clinic. Michael, did you get like a really wow, I didn't expect this when it came October, that from August to now?
I think it's been kind of like how Angela said. I think at the first clinic we were like we just kind of, like how she said, we just kind of put it out there to see what was going to happen, and we weren't quite sure what the response was going to be in terms of like participants.
Sure.
But I think we can both say we've been extremely happy about, the continued growth that we've been seeing in all the clinics that we've had. Like how she said, we've retained players that have come to each clinic, and then we've added players and participants at each clinic as well. So to us, that's an absolute win. The more people you can get to come out and even just try it is a success in my eyes. And seeing youth participants come out and try it and have fun and get to understand the sport, that's the next generation of
Sure.
people that are going to be playing the sport. So obviously we want to make it as successful as possible now, which has been awesome to see, but also build for future generations to enjoy and participate in the sport as well.
Angela, question, and I know this might be a question where you're like, "Oh God, what's wrong with John tonight?"
Throw it
But
at me.
I'm gonna throw it out there. Was there any negativity from the players that were there, the athletes that were there for the team? Was there any negativity? Because that next 24 hours becomes critical with something like this in the way of, for me, the only thing I heard was positivity. Was there any negativity in the sense of, oh, this is not what I expected. I wanted something different. Because when I was there, I was interviewing a lot of people and the positivity was overwhelming. Did you find the next 24 to 48 hours from the August clinic was truly, truly positive?
Yeah, I mean, we sent out a survey after our clinics just to see if there's anything we can improve on. And largely we've gotten positive reviews that it was fun, that the coaching was nice. Things that we could improve on is like having music, and sometimes that's out of our control, whether it's at a venue we have that control over. But largely it's been positive. I think the only negative thing that I could possibly think of would be it's a new sport and there's going to be
Right.
frustrations with learning something new. Um, Especially for some of the younger ones who haven't tried it yet. You're learning something new and you're going to make mistakes, and um, we see the frustrations, but it's also such a supportive group, not only with our volunteers that are around to help out, but also the players that have been experienced in the sport to say like, hey, I know this is tough and let me show you this way. And then you get a little bit better, and then you get a little bit more of those like nuggets of hope that, oh, I can do this. Oh, I'm
Right.
getting better at this, and this is actually fun once I learn how to do that, and it kind of just snowballs after that. So yeah, there are some frustrations with learning the sport and getting comfortable on a new set of crutches and the soreness in your hands from trying it. I mean, I can't speak for Michael, but my my hands were sore after trying
Yeah,
it for a bit.
right. I can
Um,
imagine. Sure.
but other than that, I think you're gonna experience those growing pains in anything new that you try.
Along with you, Angela, and along with Michael, I have to tell you that I don't remember. There was a coach out there. I don't remember the gentleman's name, but I have to tell you, when you guys went about this from the August to the October to now this December meeting on December the 9th, how did you go about getting the coaches that now, have to have that patience, have to, know the game, understand what is at stake. And of course, the one coach, please, Michael, help me remember his name, um, uh, who had played there. He was out there running a lot of the drills. How was it for both of you? And Michael, you can answer this question. How was the selection process? Of course, you guys are acting as coaches as well.
Yeah, so luckily through all of this organization, we've had the gentleman you're referring to, his name is Andrew, who
Yes.
participated on the um, United States national team. And he's had experience, obviously more experience than Angela and I, playing the sport and being around it. So it's nice when you're organizing these clinics. Obviously, he's the main person, right? He's the main person that's been playing the sport, and he's able to advise, obviously me and Angela, but also new participants that are coming out to play. We mentioned that we had youth athletes come out. He's kind of showing them how to maneuver on crutches, how to, kick the ball, how to dribble it, and things like that. So, which, speaking about it may not seem as big of a task, but when you're out there and you're playing, you really do realize that it's more challenging than it seems. So, um, having him and then having other participants as well that have competed and played with other amputee athletes has been really helpful for Angela and I in terms of like planning sessions and getting their feedback to make, our coaching more effective,
Sure.
and drill development more effective and efficient. So So yeah, and I don't know if Angela wants to elaborate on it a little bit, but
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
Angela, please.
Because you had mentioned earlier, kind of how the players are advertising the sport for us. Andrew has been phenomenal. He's doing interviews all over as well. He's been on the news and had another like solo news session, I think, with WGN.
Yes.
So him and Mauricio are two names, two players that I would watch out for in the Chicagoland soccer scene.
Okay.
But Andrew, I think, like, cares so much about the sport and allowing allowing the opportunity for other players to learn about it and grow through it as well. And you'll hear, like, if you look up his story, he can attest to how helpful it has been for him. But I think we also want to give Andrew the opportunity to just play. Like,
Sure.
we want him to have his team that he can compete in Chicago and not have to go to Columbus or New York to find an opportunity to play. Um, and then to Michael's point, like, Andrew just has the knowledge and the experience in this specific sport that we
Sure.
we can't have. Um, Michael and I have both played soccer all our lives. Like, I coached at the collegiate level. Like, I know how to coach and I can come up with a drill, but I don't know exactly how it's going to pan out on crutches. And so I'll come up with an idea and I run it past Andrew and I say, "Hey, what do you think of this? Do you think this will work?" And he'll say, "Yeah, that seems like a good idea." Or like, "Hey, that's going to be kind of tricky. I think that's actually too much." Or, "No, we can do a little bit more. Let's tweak it this way." And then together we kind of come up with the plan moving forward of, this is how the shooting drill is going to look. This is how it actually goes in the amputee game, because
Sure.
not everything translates directly. And he's been a super, super helpful person within that, and just flexible, helping Michael and I kind of run things. But yeah, he's been instrumental in this.
Very well how you put that. I have to tell you, the August clinic that I came to, and being an ex-hockey coach for so many years, that first, let's say we'll use the word, that was that first tryout, that first practice. Everybody gets to know each other. The parents, the wives, the husbands, everybody was there. Everybody was there. I felt in the air the team concept was already starting to begin. There was just like a great camaraderie, and everybody was pulling for one another. And then, of course, when you have a coach like Andrew running the drills, showing the drills, they looked at him like, wow, tell me, Michael, if this is correct in the way I said it. I can do this. I can do this. Andrew's doing it. I can do this. What's your thoughts on what I just said?
no,
Oh,
sure. I completely agree. I think it always makes it more personal, more of a, kind of how you said it, like, if he can do it, I can do it type mentality. Like, when you see it in person, that's your best tool to have people come out and play the game, right? When you have someone tell their personal story, and their personal experiences with the sport and how it's had a positive impact on them, I think it makes it all all the more meaningful to come out and try the sport and be a part of a community that embraces all of that. So um, I think, yeah, that's what we've been trying to facilitate and what we've been trying to create.
which is fantastic. I have to tell you that I was not able to attend the October clinic, which I think was on the 21st of October. But Angela, question for you. I have to tell you, when I had heard it was on a rooftop, and I think it was called the Skyline. And I had heard back from some people, and of course, then Michael had put something together, which I had shared on some social media sites. I had to tell you, when I looked at that, and then I heard that WGN was going to come out to do some interviews with you guys, I have to tell you how professional that looked. I thought, as the outsider again looking in, and a guy who loves sports, Angela, that raised it to another level, because here's a guy who's lived in Chicago for 64 years. And I said to myself, where is this place? It looks fantastic. So elaborate on that second one, because that'd be phenomenal that day.
Yeah, that was such a cool venue to play at. I lived in the Chicago area all my life, and I had never been there, so I
Right.
wouldn't have had that opportunity to play in such a cool place, if not for Chicago amputee soccer. I think was it Andrew's connections, or like combination of Andrew and Michael making
I
that
think it was a
happen?
combination of like trial and error of finding different venues, and then
Sure.
and came across this one, and we were able to get it. So
I
Yeah,
could just tell watching the video, Angela, Michael, that wow, I think the players, the athletes themselves were in awe that they were in this type of a venue. I mean, it was just like, wow. And of course, the weather that day cooperated. I thought, for because I thought, oh God, I hope they don't get 30 inches of snow on them. But it was just phenomenal. Did you see a big difference, Michael, too, in the play of that from the first to the second one? Like they wanted to get it going. Because like I said, from the first one, I already felt like they thought there was going to be a game in a couple of days after the first one. They were ready to go. The people that were, the athletes that came out. How did you feel again that second one, being in that situation, WGing out there? I mean, it was just what a venue, what a phenomenal thing that was going on.
yeah, I mean, I mean, the venue kind of set the stage, I feel like, right? Like without anything, it's just like you have the Chicago skyline in the background. We were lucky that the weather cooperated. We didn't get any rain, we didn't get any snow, so that was nice. And it's always good to see a lot of like enthusiasm from everyone that participated. So we had, like I said, we've had at least one new athlete join every clinic. So it was nice to see new faces and then see returning faces. But it's also awesome when you have, we had a lot of volunteers come out and support and participate. And I feel like that makes the experience as well when you have a group of people that are just, willing to try something new and kind of grow the number of eyes that are watching the sport. So it was also nice that WGN was willing to come out and cover the event and get more eyes on the team that way. I'll let Angela talk about it too.
Yeah.
yeah.
Angela, go ahead.
I think having that broadcast on the news was huge for
Oh,
us. Um, and I'm thinking that had something to do with some of the younger kids coming out. But yeah, we're very fortunate that we have spaces in our community like that. I feel like that was a perfect setting for us. It was a turf field, it was a small field. Um, and luckily we caught them it was like their last weekend that they were open, or second to
yeah,
last.
that's what I had heard too through
So
the
now we're
grapevine.
like, okay, well, this exists. So next year, that's something we can keep our radar on, and maybe have a little bit more consistent time there.
Yeah, I just
And
thought it
they
was
were
crazy.
phenomenal with like promoting the event as well. Like it was definitely a partnership, not just for like within our little small circle of a team, but
Sure,
also with Chicago
sure.
Fire, their Skyline pitch. They were really helpful too. So it'd be great to play out there again.
Of all the athletes that are doing this now with the soccer team, let's say we take Andrew, yourself, Angela, and of course Michael. Since this started, now we of course now even passed up we have we'll talk about the December 9th clinic here a little bit before toward the end when we get off the interview. But I have to ask you, are you guys available for the athletes, meaning this way? Okay, let's say this ends at about 7:20, 7:25 tonight. You get a text, you get a phone call, you get an email, whatever the social media venue is now, you get a message, DM me, whatever. You're available for these athletes. You have made them feel that this now is a team. You are on this team. And the reason why I bring it up, because that first clinic, when I was standing on the sidelines talking to wives, cousins, brothers, they were like, do you think my son or my daughter's going to make the team? And I'm like, make the team? I mean, for me, they were superstars just for what they were going through with you guys. Do you guys, Angela, make yourselves ready, available for any question? And because now this is a full blown thing.
Yeah, absolutely. We all have access to, I think we get the most contact through our Instagram account. But I think our Gmail is on there as well. And we all have access to that so we can respond whenever we need. And like you said, like it's not about making a team, it's about making a community. So it doesn't matter what your skill set is. You could be brand new to soccer, you could be brand new to literally anything. This could be the first sport you've ever tried.
Right.
And there's no experience necessary. We're just here to introduce it, offer the opportunity, and if it sticks with you and it's something you want to grow your skill at, then yeah, we'll have a competitive team for you.
Sure.
But on the other hand, it's mostly just about building that community and support.
And thank you, Angela, the way you put it, if it's your first time, this is just great, because right there, because it could be something for that 41-year-old guy who's watched soccer his whole life, or that 41-year-old lady who's watched soccer, and something has happened like this to them, but they had the passion because maybe they were soccer fans for 41 years and now they want to be part of this. Michael, in the way of the responses from the people, the Instagram, the texts, everything, what responses are you getting after 3 clinics? I mean, from the athletes, what's going on? Like, do they call you Coach Michael, Coach Angela, Coach Fiorante, Coach Widlacki? How do they approach you? What is their responses to you?
I just go by Michael.
Okay.
Yeah, just and
No coach or anything like that.
Okay.
But no, I think the main question that we always get is when's the next one, which is always encouraging. So that falls on to, obviously Angela, myself, Andrew, everyone who's involved in organizing these things to, okay, we need to find consistent times for us to get field time, and so that people can come out and play, so that people know, this day of the week or this day of the month, whatever it
Sure.
is, they can count on Chicago Amputee Soccer Club is having a practice, is having a clinic, and they can come out and play. So I think that's the most consistent response that we've gotten on Instagram, or
Sure.
which is really encouraging.
Angela, going into December 9th, this last one we had on Saturday, did you see have you seen, as you, the player, the coach, because you've played this game and like you said, you've coached this game, have you seen the progression since August 12th? Have you seen it where, wow, that day so-and-so did this and did that, or you see the desire of that person wants to be out there just by the responses you made? Did you see it?
definitely. I think it shows, especially with the continual returners that have come to every single clinic. We've got a goalkeeper now who loves goalkeeping. He doesn't introduce himself by name. He's literally like, I'm the goalkeeper. And we're
I'm
like,
the goalkeeper. Okay.
I mean, tell them your name. Oh yeah. And he just loves the sport, and it's fantastic. So we actually were able to, I'm gonna back up. So August 1st, it was, we don't know what we're gonna get. We're gonna introduce the sport,
Okay.
offer the opportunity. Let's see what happens. 2 clinics later, now we're saying, hey, Michael is gonna run the goalkeeping training. I'm gonna work with the field players, and then we'll come together at the end and scrimmage. Where we didn't have that opportunity in the first one.
No.
So now we're actually playing real soccer and having competitions. And it seems like everybody's having a really great time. So yeah, you still have to be flexible. And I came up with session plans that weren't going to work for the group that we had, because we had a lot of kiddos, and I needed to change my instructions a little bit and change the format of it. But that's also just coaching 101, know your audience, right?
Right. And just like them, it's a learning process. And just for
Exactly.
you guys, it's a learning process, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but you've brought some great aspects of the game to this for the team. I'm sorry. Michael, have you seen that same question I asked you? Have you seen the progression and the desire from some of these athletes, where maybe you remembered one athlete from August and you're like, God, I hope he likes it. I hope he likes it, and then, or that lady, I hope she likes it. And then all of a sudden came out in October and now in this December one, and you see this major difference. Did you see it?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to see players. I mean, even if it's the simplest thing of I can maneuver on forearm crutches now, win. That's a win. Like if you couldn't do that in the first session and now you can, awesome. Like that's so amazing. And now, okay, now let's progress and being able to kick the soccer ball. So like, or
Sure.
pass or dribble, whatever it is. Um, and I'm trying to think, I mean, I can't pick out one player in particular in my mind because I mean, it's just, I think the the success and of the group and the camaraderie of the group is just, I think that's what stands out most to me is that everyone is just there for each other. And I think that's the beauty of um the beauty of these clinics is seeing that everyone is available to each other, whether it be, you know, coaches and players, players and players, family members,
Sure.
everyone is there to support. And I think it's really, I don't know, for me, when we have these clinics, I always think it's really, really beautiful when I see players come with their families and their families stay. And even if they don't necessarily participate, but they stay and watch
Yeah.
because they want to support whether it's their child or the other people that are participating, So I think that's the beauty of what this team, what this club is starting as well.
Angela, where was the venue on December the 9th, the one we just had this past Saturday? Where was that one?
It was at the Chicago Fire pitch. In the winter, they convert it into an indoor dome. So we
And
were
where's
inside.
that located? Where's that located, Ange?
Chicago is on Tallman Ave. Is that correct? Yeah.
And again, and I didn't know this going into the interview tonight. So again, do you think when they heard, wow, Chicago Fire uses this again? That's like another to the ego of that athlete. Wow, we're playing where the Fire plays. This is the pro team here in Chicago. Did you see that in their eyes, Ange, that day when that came out?
I think it was exciting to see that name. It's another cool place. They've got like a restaurant, cafe kind of bar area when you walk in. And so like if you're not watching, you're not playing, you can go chill or wait until it's your turn. I can't say for sure if the Chicago Fire actually plays there. I think it's a
But
one of
it's
their
a
like community
facility
outreach
for
things, but
them.
it's got their
Yeah,
name and their logo all over it. So it
sure.
to your point, yeah, it feels like a very legitimate spot. Like the turf was great. It was a it was a great environment. It wasn't like here you're stuck in a warehouse and you get what you get. It was really well put together and we were lucky to play there.
And again, Michael, you're making it with these venues. Even I think that first one was out in Wilmette or Winnetka when I came in the summer. You guys are making it totally with the skyline where this fire facility is. It would be like if there was an amputee team for football and they were told, we're going to practice at Hallis Hall in Lake Forest. I'm telling you, they're going to go through the ceiling with just euphoria. So this was fantastic. What is the next steps, Michael? And we'll go back to Angela. I'll ask you, so after December 9th, now you guys are in full bloom here. Media coverage, venues. They're learning how to play this game from coaches, you guys involved with this. What's next? What are we looking down the road? So I'm going to ask the question that I think all the athletes, hopefully, when they watch this, are going to say, well, we don't have to call them anymore. So what is next?
Um, well, I think what's next is, we want to having consistent practices, right? I think
Okay.
up until now we've had kind of like these one-off type clinics um that, we've been planning, we've been trying to, have people come out, try the sport, grow it. And I think now it's awesome that we've gotten to the point where we've had that consistency of people coming back and we've had that consistency of having new players come every time that we've had these clinics. And so I think where we want to go is having that consistent time where, like, kind of like how I said earlier, is, people can bet their money that on this day or this day of the month or this day of the week, I can go and I can have my practice with the Chicago Amputee Soccer Club.
Right.
So I think that's going to be the going towards the next steps. And then, obviously continuing to grow. We don't, like kind of Angela said, you know, it's not just about having a team, it's about having a community. So whether it be youth players, whether it be, you just want to play at that recreational level because you like the sport and you want to have fun, or whether you want to compete at that higher level and you want to compete against other regional teams across the country
Sure.
um and play in these uh tournaments that are sponsored by the MLS, we can do that. We want to grow to the point where we're able to do that, but that doesn't happen unless you have the community first. So I think that's where we're going next. But Angela can can expand too.
Y-
Yeah, to
Yeah,
build
go
off of
ahead,
what
Ange, because I have a
you
question
said
for you.
earlier.
So go ahead, expand on it if you need to. Yeah.
Sure. The biggest thing for us was to make sure that we did have the interest, did have the numbers in our area to start building this community. And now
Sure.
that we've proven that we do have it, we've actually been back in touch with the American Amputee Soccer Association and are in the midst of kind of working out some of the legal things. Andrew is mostly taking the head charge on that, but working with their president to get an affiliation, like an official affiliation through AASA. And with that would come a little bit of funding so that we could secure monthly, weekly, whatever we need, venue space, whether it was buying forearm crutches or equipment. So once we kind of figure out those little details and get Chicago Amputee Soccer signed on the dotted line, I think we'll be able to kind of really take off from there and having that more consistent time that we can tell players, like Michael's saying, like, you can bet your money that we're going to have this day every month, every week, whatever it is, and really take off from there.
Are you seeing, since the media coverage, of course, having the 3 clinics, forming this team and everything else, are you being approached by different sponsors and people that want to get involved, without mentioning any names, or if you want to mention names, but without mentioning any names, are you being approached, Michael? Are you, where there is an interest now?
Yeah, we've been very fortunate that Angela just mentioned the American Amputee Soccer Association
Yeah.
as a pro, we've been in consistent talks with them like since the very beginning, but now that we've kind of gotten off the ground a little bit more, we're in that process of, kind of how Angela said, signing on that dotted line is kind of like the cherry on top of the sundae type deal where once we're able to do that, that'll be awesome and provide us access to some funds. And then we were very fortunate that after the clinic at the Skyline pitch, we had received messages from them about wanting to set up consistent clinics once they reopen again. So that's another option as far as like venue space. Like, hey, we have somewhere that wants to have us there on a consistent basis, which is awesome.
Right.
And then Shirley Ryan Ability Lab has been awesome in helping us organize these clinics. They've had their adaptive sports program they've had coordinators and uh staff that's been at every single clinic that we've had up to date, and they've been awesome in helping us organize every single clinic as well. So we're very fortunate that they have our backs on that.
Is the of course, you've already made, in my eyes, the ultimate goal by forming this, being the founders, doing what you're doing, putting this all together. but somewhere down the road, I was talking to Michael off camera tonight, Angela. Eventually, there's a league. There will probably be games somewhere down the road. We don't know when we're going to hit that road, but what's your thoughts on that? Because for that first time that they will hear that, that will, for them, be like playing in a World Cup. But where do you see that going? Do you see that maybe 6-7 months down the road?
It depends on the numbers we get. We have to put, I believe, 7 players on the field, including the goalkeeper.
Got it.
So we got to have the bodies. So
Okay.
step 1, promote and find them. And then once we get some training under our belt and we can compete, that's another part of being affiliated with the American Amputee Soccer Association, is that we could be in their league and compete against their other regional teams. But yeah, once we hit that point, that will be, I think, for Michael, myself, and Andrew, will feel so fulfilling. Like, yes, we've done it. Not that we would stop there, of course, but that would feel super fulfilling for us. And then I can't even imagine for the players who get involved and possibly could have thought at one point, like, I don't see myself competing. Like, there's not this opportunity for me to be able to actually live that opportunity out and kind of live out some of their dreams that they thought maybe weren't possible. So I think it's going to be huge to be able to offer that opportunity. But I don't know, 6-7 months would be great. And I think the way we've been going, like, I wouldn't count it out.
No.
But it is a process, and we might, like, we've been climbing. I wouldn't be surprised either if we hit a little plateau and then climb again. Seasons change and interests change. So we'll see what we can do, but we're going to keep grinding until we figure it out.
Michael, you want to elaborate a little bit more on that, of Angela's?
I don't know how much better I can put that. I mean,
Yeah,
Angela
did
said
a
it
great
pretty
job.
well. I mean, yeah, I think, how she said is like, that's step number, whatever number you want to assign it, but the grind doesn't stop there. We've been grinding up until this point, and we're not gonna stop. We wanna elevate, this sport as much as we can, and continue to grow the community as much as we can as well. So yeah, but like Angela said, it doesn't happen unless we get bodies out there and playing.
Sure. I normally do a little thing, a blurb at the halfway point, but we've gotten pretty close here to the end. But I do want to tell our audience that both will be graduating from Northwestern University. So if I'm the one who can make the opinion, here's the best school in Illinois, not in that little city called Chicago, the best, and probably one of the best colleges in our 50 states in the United States. And you're both graduating in sports therapy. So again, this is not, I just want these are 2 great students that are not doing this for fun. Their studies alone take time and determination. So what I'm going to leave you both tonight, because this was fantastic. I mean, I wish I could spend another hour with both of you, but what I see from just meeting both of you back when I did and having that interview in August to tonight and telling us what's been going on, and of course the media coverage, I'm even hearing some rumor pipelines down the road from the professional team might have some interest in this also, which I think they're going to have interest, because I think what they've seen, also the media, the professional teams, and even clubs. I even had a meeting with the Chicago Rush. They are seeing also you guys have this progress and determination. And I have to tell both you, Angela Widlacki and Michael Fiorante, you guys keep doing what you're doing, because this is truly fantastic. And I thank you for tonight. Any closing remarks from either one of you that you would like to promote before we go off the air?
Angela, you could go first.
Angela?
I would like to promote Michael and his outstanding commitment to just creating these connections. He is so personable with literally every single player and family member that shows up, and he's the one that's going out in the community. He met, I believe, a 9-year-old young man who was able to make it out to our last clinic, and the way that Michael's eyes lit up when he showed up, Michael is really, really making a difference out there and doing a lot of the groundwork to make it happen. And I feel like I'm just helping like organize, and Michael's making all the connections. And I'm like, I'm going to set up the cones, and Michael's making more connections. I'm like, we got to get things going, but he's just fantastic. Like even at the end of a clinic, we're closing up, we're supposed to be off the field. Michael is making even more connections and making sure he's got contact information and
Sure.
he's fantastic. He's like easily becoming the face of this, not as an athlete.
And Angela, I got to tell you, you're fantastic yourself. You're a great organizer. This is, I mean, you guys work well together. Yeah. And right here, just in this interview tonight, you guys are a team. Michael, closing remarks.
I mean, I don't know how to follow that up. Like,
I've been setting you up all night here.
No, I mean, listen, I think not all of this happens because we work together as a team, and we always, you know, maintain a constant line of communication with each other, and we all know what we bring to the table as far as you know, our numerous amounts of talents. And
Sure.
I don't Angela is just as personable, if not more than I. So I mean, you know, she also does a really great job with coaching and, you know, speaking to everyone in it, as well as everyone else that comes out to the clinics and helps organize. So yeah, those are my closing remarks. Is
Fantastic.
I think it's just going great. So
well, again, both of you, like I said here a few minutes back, keep doing what you're doing. We have visited tonight with the Chicago Amputee soccer team, the two founders of this, Michael Fiorante, Angela Widlacki. We will keep you abreast of the future events. They just had one here on December 9th. They've had 3 of them, and it's been overwhelming, the responses here in the city, through the media, other clubs, and even the professional teams are listening in on this. We will get this out to our social media sites to see this. Good night, Michael Fiorante. Good night, Angela Widlacki. And thank you.
thanks, John.